Welcome everyone to Gentle Yoga. We'll start out in a reclined posture this morning. You can bring the soles of your feet together and lower down onto your back. Or if it's easier for you, come down on your back and then bring the soles of your feet together with your knees splayed out. And if this isn't comfortable for you in your hips or your legs, if it's not comfortable in any way, you could instead just bring the soles of your feet to rest on the mat. Knees maybe leaning in towards each other a bit. And your hands might rest on the floor, or they might rest on your body. Maybe feel your heartbeat, feel your breathing. Before I go further, I'll say that if at any point you can't hear me, please let me know. I can get louder. Making any other adjustments you need to be comfortable. Feel the grounding contact with the floor. And focus on your breath to get us started. Just allowing your breath the time to get deeper and slow down. Notice the movements of your breath and the way those movements feel. Taking in where you feel the inhale, where you feel the exhale. Maybe notice your contact with the floor changing as your breath moves you around, different parts of your back lifting up from the floor and touching down as your breath moves in and out of you. Start to extend your awareness outward from this central focus on the breathing. And notice whatever other sensations are present in your body right now. Maybe not related to the movement of the breath or not changed by the movement of the breath, whatever is going on. Taking it all in, making particular note of anything you deem negative or unwanted, like stiffness or soreness. Perhaps thinking of sending your breath into any trouble spots like that are speaking up. And also just making mental notes of any issues you've got going on, anything making itself known, so that you can keep it in mind during practice and take care of yourself by skipping or modifying anything you want to. Everything but the breathing can be considered optional here. You're welcome to go off script and do your own thing. Maybe do less than I'm doing, maybe do more. There are always alternatives, always modifications. I can't think of them all or squeeze them all in. We'll each have our own practice, and it does not have to be the same. And whenever your mind wanders, when your attention drifts from focusing on your breathing, noticing what's going on in your body, just gently come back. Gently redirect. Your mind will always wander. That's one of the things it does. If in addition to our shared intentions of observing ourselves and taking care of ourselves, it's in your practice to set an intention of your own, something personal, something more specific to you. If you like to do that, now is the time to let that intention come together in your mind and sink in for a few breaths. I like to keep mine to a single word. It's easier for me to remember and come back to. It might be something you're looking to cultivate, or something you're looking to release, or something you're looking to care for. Maybe something that doesn't fit one of those categories. It's your intention for you. And with our intentions in place, before we start to move around, let's share 3 deep cleansing breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth with a sigh. If you've got the soles of your feet together and your knees splayed open, it's possible to strain your legs coming out of this posture. So what we want to do is let the arms help the legs. If your knees are splayed, bring your hands to your legs. Like closing a book, nudge your knees towards each other and let the soles of your feet just rest on the mat. Then draw your knees up to your chest and give them a squeeze. And explore a little rocking side to side or rolling in circles, massaging your back against the floor. Holding on to your right leg, extend and lower your left leg down along the ground. Reach your right arm out to the side. Feel that shoulder blade press to the ground. See if you can keep your shoulder blade on the ground. Draw your knee over to the left and turn your head towards the right. Come on back to center and switch legs. Draw your left knee in, extend and lower your right leg and your left arm. Bring your knee to the right and turn your head to the left. And just let your breath bring you out. Keeping your shoulders grounded. Not worrying about how far your leg goes. Come on back to center. Draw your right knee in again. We'll start stretching the limbs out a bit. You're going to reach for the ceiling. Inhale, reach your hands and feet up. Exhale, draw them down. Knees towards the chest, elbows to the floor, fingers still pointing up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come down. A few more breaths. Inhaling to lengthen up. Exhaling to contract. And let's take some full body stretches now, reaching the hands away from the feet. Inhale, stretch all the way out. And exhale, curl up in a ball. And take a few more breaths like that. Use the whole inhale to lengthen and the whole exhale to curl up. Bring it all in. And then we'll start to sit up. 2 ways to go. You might roll front to back and roll your spine along the floor, maybe playing with balancing at the top of that rocking movement. If that doesn't feel good for you and your back, you might tip to one hip and spin up to a seat, pressing your hand to the floor to help you up. We'll all meet sitting up. Drink your water whenever you need to. I take frequent sips to keep my throat moist so I can talk, because I do talk a lot. Feel the grounding contact of your seat. Tune into the length of your spine. Think of the crown of your head reaching up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands to rest out at your sides, maybe just your fingertips on the floor so you stay long in the spine. Inhale, reach your left arm up alongside your ear. As you exhale, let your arm drape over your head. Fingertips come to rest by your right ear. Let the weight of your arm draw your head to the left. And if you like, you can lift your right hand and reach out through your fingertips to further lengthen that trapezius muscle in the right side of your neck. Maybe think of sending your breath there. If your right hand's raised, let it down. Let your neck stay relaxed and passive. Let your left hand slide across your head and come down to your cheek, and use your arm to nudge your head back to center. Let that hand down too. When you're ready, inhale, raise the other arm. Exhale, let it drape over your head. And let just the weight of your arm gently draw your head over to the right. And if you like, reach out through your left fingertips. Let your left hand down if it's raised. Neck stays passive. Right hand slides over, slides down, and nudges your head back to center. Let that hand down. Let's make our way up onto our hands and knees. You can tip onto one hip, spin yourself, open your hands way up, bring your shoulders above your wrists, and your hips above your knees. We'll take some cow and cat breaths. Inhale, bring your heart forward, let your head and tailbone go up. Exhale, draw your heart up, let your head and tailbone come down. Follow the pace of your breath. We don't have to go at the same pace. Using the whole inhale to bring your heart forward, and the whole exhale to bring your heart up. And after your next exhale, come back to table with your back parallel to the ground. Now we're going to explore some twists, upper spinal twist, with some optional extensions. So often this is cute and people just talk about the arm. They say, reach your arm up. And that's, to me, the end of the motion. That's the way I learned it. This is a twist that starts at the waist. So we'll go to the right first. So it's not a lot of movement at first. It's kind of subtle as you begin. Inhaling, twist through your lower back, middle back, upper back, and then reach your right arm out and up and look up towards your hand. As you exhale, bring it down, reach across, thread the needle. Let's do that 2 more times, and we'll continue on. Inhale, open up and look up. Exhale, come down, reach across. Inhaling with the expansive movements and exhaling with the contracting movements. And nice and gently, let your shoulder come down to the floor and rest your head on the floor. If your head doesn't want to reach the floor, shift your hips forward until it does. Now that might be plenty to do. You could stay right there. And then we have options. If you want, you could reach back and press into the ball of your left foot. Alternately, you might pick that foot up and reach back in the air. That can make you tip over, so you might rock onto your back when you do that sometimes. Or you might bring that foot over by your right hand. Or you can skip all that, keep both knees on the ground. Other options, you can reach your left hand up towards the ceiling and let your arm float in the shoulder socket, like an owl turning your head back and forth. Or you might just fold your arm across your low back in a half bind. And you can do the leg things without the arm things without the leg things. You can do them both or skip them both. I like to try a little bit of all of it each time I do this. Spend a little time in each variation. So if you've taken your left hand off the floor, bring it back to support you, stabilize you. And if you've moved your left leg, bring that back so the knee's planted again. Press into that left hand, inhale, reach up, open up, and look up. And exhale, come down. Plant your hand. Take 3 or 4 rounds of those cow and cat breaths. Something popped up on my screen I need to make go away while you do your cow cats. And when you're ready, we'll do this all going the other way. Going to the left. Inhale, twist to the lower back, middle back, upper back. Reach your left arm out and out. Exhale and come down and reach across. Thread the needle. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. And take your time. Let your shoulder down. Rest your head on the floor. Explore as you like, extending your right leg. Extending as you like your right arm. If you've moved your right arm, if you took your hand off the floor, bring that right hand back, ground into it. If you moved your right leg, bring it back in, plant your knee. Big inhale, open up, and reach up, and look up. Exhale, come down, rest your hand, and take a few rounds of the cow and cat breath. Come back to table. We'll explore some more movements here from this starting point of table. Exhale, sit back towards your heels. Inhale, come forward to table. And keep going with that and see what your body wants. So maybe as you come forward, your heart wants to go further forward. Maybe your hands come forward. You start drifting sort of loosely towards cobra, that kind of shape. Listening to your body, seeing how far it wants to go. Maybe you go back further, and maybe you come forward further. Depending on how your back feels, you might start to go from a cobra to an upward facing dog if your low back feels ready for that when you come forward. Maybe as you go back, you send your knees further apart, more like child's pose. So take it as you like. Maybe they're small movements, maybe they're big. Use the whole inhale to lengthen forward, and the whole exhale to go back and down. And make your way back to table. And we'll start to widen our exploration. That's mostly about front and back things, right? Start to make some circles. You can think of leading with your heart. Exhaling, go over to the right, sit back. Inhaling, come over to the left and forward. And just explore that. Whatever range of movement feels okay to you. Listening to your body, noticing what works, staying mindful of any issues. And at some point, change the direction of your circles. And make your way back up to table, back up onto your hands and knees squared off. And move on from here. Step your right foot up between your hands and bring your hands to your thigh or your knee and lift your torso up. And check some alignment things. Feel for stability. Things that can make us more stable is front knee above the front ankle, back knee under the back hip, lower leg behind the knee, shoulders above the hips. Exhale, sink forward in your hips. Inhale, glide back up. And when you're ready, if you want, you can explore moving your arms. You might reach both arms up or keep one on your knee for stability. And lower the arms as you come forward in the hips. And you can lower your arms parallel to the floor or draw them down to a cactus or goalpost-like shape. Taking the degree of rocking that feels good for your hips. Knowing you can always bring your hand back to your knee if it's too unstable with both arms up. And from the top of the movement, let's try twisting. Reach your right hand forward, your left hand back. You can still bring a hand to your knee anytime if you start to tip over. Taking some deep breaths in that twist. Come back through center and twist to your right. Come back through center. Let your hands come down and switch legs. Bring the right knee back to the floor and step your left foot forward. Bring your hands to your knee or your thigh. Lift up. Line things up. Stabilize. When you're steady, start to explore. Rocking your hips. Exhaling forward. Inhaling back. Involve the arms as you like, if you like, to whatever degree works for you. And when you're ready, twist to the right. Come back through center and twist to the left. Come back through center. Exhaling, bring your hands down. And step your right foot up to meet your left. Hang out in forward fold. Explore swaying back and forth. Arms and head hanging heavy. Bending and straightening your knees. A little or a lot, as your body seems to want. You might also hold on to your elbows with your hands, or clasp your hands at the base of your skull for some neck traction. If your hands are doing something else, let them hang down again. Nice and slowly, shake your head no. And nod your head yes. Inhale to lift up halfway, hands to the front of your legs. Push against your legs. Help the crown of your head move forward away from your tailbone. Spine lengthening out parallel to the ground. Exhaling, relax down. Inhaling, roll slowly to standing. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhaling, bring your hands to your heart. Let your hands hang at your sides. Lift your left shoulder up towards your ear. Shift it back and let it down. And then your right shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach for the walls. As you exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, take eagle arms. If you're taking eagle, move your elbows and your hands up and out, further opening the space between the shoulder blades, back of the heart space. On an inhale, open up. As you exhale, cross the other way. Grab your shoulder blades or take eagle. Breathe into the back of your heart. Inhale to open up. Exhale to let your arms come down. Inhale your arms out and up overhead. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up towards the ceiling, and look up at your hands. Lift up your heart. Bend as much as your body wants to. Maybe your hips drift forward. Maybe your head and your hands drift back. With an inhale, come upright. As you exhale, bend to the right, feel for length through both arms. Try not to let your left shoulder curl forward past your ear, and try not to lift your left foot up. Sometimes that heel wants to lift away. Better to stay grounded. Inhale up through center. Exhale, bend to the left. Inhale to come up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Repeat for 2 more breaths. Inhale up. You don't even need to pause at the end of the exhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Reverse. Inhale up through center. Exhale out and down. 2 more times. Smooth, flowing like water. Continuous movement. Continuous breath. And pause. Maybe close your eyes. Just take a couple noticing breaths. Take in how your body sways as you stand on your feet, all the little movements, the wisdom of your body holding you upright without special instruction. Inhale your arms out and up. And exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale to lift up halfway. Exhale to fold. Plant your hands. Let's step back to a plank. And spend a couple breaths really finding your plank shape, letting your hips come down in line with your shoulders and your heels, or your shoulders and your knees if you choose a shorter plank. This is the most intense thing we'll do today in the gentle classes. A few breaths in plank. With an exhale, slowly lower all the way down. How slow can you go? Keep your elbows in close and don't stop breathing. Let everything down. Belly, knees, chin, untuck your toes. Reach your arms out to the sides. Palms against the floor. And we're going to explore some twisty movement here, some more shoulder opening, some more opening of the heart space, and maybe some leg extension. So imagine there's Velcro on your left hand or a suction cup, depending on what your floor is made out of. Grab the floor with the left hand. Walk your right hand in towards you and press up onto your side. So now your left ear and your left hip are on the floor. That might be plenty to do. You can stay right there. If you want to explore further, you can lift your right foot away from your left. Raise the leg, opening the scissors. You might let your heel drift back. You might bend your knee and see what happens there with the weight of the leg back there. That foot might drift towards the floor. Don't push it towards the floor. Just let it hang. See what it wants to do. It might surprise you by touching down. And some people like to add an arm extension here, similar to what we did on all fours earlier. You might reach your arm up, let it rotate in the socket, or some folks like to fold it across the back here. Some intense opening on that left shoulder. I'm doing a lot of the hunching that we do habitually. We're very front body culture, front facing. We often neglect the back of the heart space, and often our shoulders are curled forward, collapsing the heart space, resulting in less room to breathe, less room for the heart to do its work. If you took the arm extension, first, bring your arm back so you have your hand planted by your face to stabilize you. And then if you extended your leg, rewind nice and slowly so that you bring your legs together again. So nice to take your time. Walk your hand back out, come to rest on your belly. Rest your chin or rest on one cheek if it's not comfortable to rest your chin for a couple breaths. And when you're ready, we'll do the other side. Grab the floor with that right hand, walk your left hand in, rock onto your right side. If you like, lift your left leg up away from the right. Maybe the heel drifts back. Maybe you bend your knee. Let the leg go. And maybe you reach your left arm up. Explore rotating it. Or just folding it across your back. We spend so much time holding some electronic device or a steering wheel or even a book or newspaper and facing forward and rounding forward and looking down, getting text neck. Undoing some of that stuff here. When you're ready, if you moved your left hand, bring it back, plant it by your face. If you extended your left leg back, take your time, raise it, straighten it, lower it against the other leg. Nice and easy, walk the left hand back out. Come back to center, pause again. If you rested on one cheek, maybe rest on the other cheek. Or rest your chin if you like. And slide your hands down by your hips. Zipping your feet and legs together. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your feet, lift your knees, lift your hands, lift your chest, reach your fingertips back towards your toes. And breathe. Let your neck be long, not scrunched up high, but not dipping down. Nice smooth curve of the spine. Feel your belly expanding, rocking you up and down as you breathe in your belly. Exhaling, slowly come down, rest on one cheek. Take a couple breaths. When you're ready, turn your head to center. We'll do it once more. Inhale, reach back, lift up, opening the heart. Maybe even feel your shoulder blades draw towards each other just as your feet are drawing towards each other. Fingers reaching back towards the toes. Exhale, slowly come down, rest on the other cheek maybe. Turn your head to center if you're on one cheek. And we'll play with one more similar movement with a bind. Bend your knees, one hand at a time. Reach back. See if you can take hold of your feet or your ankles. If you can't, it's okay. If you can't get the grip on your feet or ankles, you're just going to reach back through your fingertips and keep your legs bent like you're drawing your heels towards your butt. Inhale, kick into your hands. Lift your knees, lift your chin, lift your chest. Exhale, slowly relax down, keep your grip. Let everything come down. Release your hands, let your legs stay up. You can rest on one cheek here if you like. Let your legs go back and forth like windshield wipers. Nice release in the low back there. And let your legs down. Turn your head to center. Bring your hands up by your shoulders. Inhale, press up and back. Just passing through table. We're going to make our way to a seat. So you might cross your ankles, walk your hands back and roll over your ankles, or just tip onto one hip and spin to a seat, whichever works better for you. We'll meet sitting up, legs extended forward. Flex your feet back towards you, toes reaching towards the shins. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Explore letting your breath deepen the fold. As you inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. As you exhale, think of lowering down. It's tempting to grab your feet or your legs and yank yourself forward with your arms. I find it feels more productive to let the breath do the work. Invite the body to fold more instead of telling it to fold more. Inhaling, walk your hands up the front of your legs, using your arms to help you sit up. Let your arms help your legs open out to whatever degree they can. The edge of your comfort zone, wherever it is. Keep letting your arms help. Bend your left leg, bring your foot over to your right leg. Pivot your torso, aim your sternum at your right foot. Flex your right foot towards you. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhaling, fold over that extended leg. Explore again with the breath, maybe deepening the fold. Inhale, thinking forward. Exhale, thinking down. We'll explore some arm extension here. Bring your left hand in towards your heart. Reach it out to the side. And let's try a bind here. We already did some bind. You can turn your hand so your thumb's down, palm is back. Fold your arm across your low back. That feels sort of familiar. Opening that shoulder like someone's drawing that shoulder gently back. Extend this arm out again. Undo that rotation. Now reach your arm up towards the ceiling and arch it over towards that extended leg. Getting some release of the compression in the middle of the lower back that we get from all the time we spend sitting. Slowly reach up, reach out. Bring your hand in towards your body and over by the other hand. Walk your hands up the front of your leg. Arms helping the legs. Extend this one. Bend the other one. Bring your foot over. Pivot your torso. Flex your left foot. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold down. Spend a couple breaths here just seeing about deepening the fold a little with those nice deep breaths. And slowly draw your right hand in. Reach out to the side. Turn your palm back, thumb down. Fold your arm across your lower back. Peel that right shoulder back. Slowly extend your arm and do that rotation, palm forward now. Reach up. Arch your arm over your head towards your left leg. And slowly bring your arm up, out, back across, through center, over by the other arm. Walk your hands up the front of your leg. Arms up the legs. Extend this one out. Bring the legs in. Bring your feet together. Here's where we started. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. A big distance between your heels and your pelvis. If you can, slide your hands under your ankles and grab the floor. If you can't do that, reach over your ankles and grab the floor. Either way, you're going to walk your hands forward and draw yourself down into a pretzel using traction in the arms. And let your neck relax, let your head come down. Breathe deeply into your lower back, that spot above the sacrum, where we have all that compression going on. Slowly start to scoot your hands back, press up to a seat. Keeping your feet together, bring them in close. Now, heels right in close to your pelvis. Interlace your fingers and grab the tops of your toes. Wriggle on your seat, bring the sitting bones closer to the ground and tilt your pelvis. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhaling, hinge at the hips, fold forward with a long spine. See how far down the long spine will go. When it stops lowering, let the neck relax and let your head bow. Breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. One more time, let the arms help the legs and lift your knees towards each other like closing a book. Rest your hands out past your hips. Wiggle your feet further apart, further than your shoulders, maybe the width of your mat if you're on a mat. Let your knees drift back and forth to whatever degree they will. And maybe as your knees go down to one side, turn your head to the other side. Knees and head coming through center and going opposite ways. And bring your feet in closer. Bring your hands behind you, scoot forward, lower onto your forearms and onto your back. Reach your hands towards your feet and your feet towards your hands. Pressing into the soles of your feet, inhale to lift your hips up for bridge pose. If you want to go further here, you might wriggle your shoulder blades in towards each other. Clasp your hands under you. Reach your knuckles towards your heels. If you're clasping your hands, unclasp them. Exhale, slowly let your hips down. Explore bridge on your own for a minute. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Challenge yourself as you like. You can make it more challenging by moving more slowly or going up higher, taking extra breaths at the top, or repeating the clasp of the hands, wiggling the shoulder blades in. You might need extra breaths at the bottom. You can take extra breaths at the bottom instead. Let your next exhale down be the last one. Pause after you land. Cross your left ankle above your right knee. Reach your arms out to the sides. Feel those shoulder blades press to the floor. Let your shoulders stay on the ground. Let your legs fall to the right and turn your head to the left. Don't worry about how far your legs go. Slowly bring your head and your legs back to center and switch your legs. Cross your right ankle above your left knee. Let your legs go to the left and your head go to the right. Slowly come back to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees towards your chest. Hug your knees. Rock around, roll around. Massage your back against the ground. Knees in close. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up to grab your legs or your feet however you like. Play with bending and straightening your limbs, exploring movement in happy baby pose. If there's another inversion you would prefer, please feel free to invert however you are called to. Lots of fun and interesting ways to bring the feet and the legs higher than the heart and let those lower extremities get some healthful drainage. And just explore play. Playfulness is its own benefit. And there's no wrong way to explore. Maybe you move a little, maybe you move a lot, maybe they're big movements, maybe they're small. You can invert for as long as you like. When you feel complete, make your way to your final resting pose, which might be corpse pose, Shavasana, legs extended, feet splayed apart, hands resting by the hips, eyes closed if you want. But it's more important to be comfortable than it is to be in that posture. So if corpse pose isn't comfortable for you, get comfortable, whatever that looks like. We use the term Shavasana in two ways. One is strictly the shape, corpse pose. But we also use it to describe this state of quiet stillness that we come to where we integrate the benefits of our practice. You can adjust your position as needed because what's comfortable can be mobile. Comfort can slip away. What was comfortable a minute ago might not be comfortable. You can always adjust. Stillness is a relative term. We're never completely still. You might focus on your breath, maybe the simplest meditation. You might come back to your intention and reflect upon it. Or you might just let your mind wander, let it detach. You might scan your body as you did at the start of practice, just noticing how everything's feeling without judging or looking to change it. As remaining excess tension melts away from your body, lying and resting in stillness, if you detect anything going on in the body that you're not happy with, the unwanted sensation, get curious about it. Maybe ask it what it wants. Maybe think of sending some breath to it. Maybe you've tuned me out and you're doing your own thing. That's fine. This too is an exploration, stillness, and reflection. And there's no wrong way to explore. Start to find some deeper breaths. Let your body begin to move around bit by bit, starting with small movements, gradually leading to bigger and bigger movements, taking your time, moving mindfully. When you're ready for bigger movements, gently come up to a seat. And if you like, bring your hands up by your heart. Thank you for gathering to share practice today. The light within me sees, honors, and bows to that same light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you all. Please remember to visit our digital tip jar at urbanyoga.org or on our Facebook page. The information is also there. And check out the other classes. We have classes every day of the week with several different teachers, different times of day. You can find what fits your schedule.